another topic here. And when we talk about passwords, we always talk about strong passwords because, as we know, computers are so fast in guessing passwords. And if you're using anything out of the dictionary, or if you're using password or 123, your password can be guessed in 0.2 of a second. So, using strong passwords and making sure that every single website that you use a password at gets a unique site, or it gets a unique password. So don't ever share the passwords. And everybody jokes about writing down passwords. The thing about a notebook, as long as you keep the notebook safe, notebooks don't need to be rebooted all the time, and they don't lose data. So whatever you have in this notebook, as long as you have it physically safe and locked up, you're going to be okay keeping your passwords there.
Yeah.
And any other thoughts on passwords, Cindy?
Yeah, and I agree with that. I actually, interestingly enough, when we were shopping for school supplies this year, I noticed that there was one of the books that you could get for school supplies, and in the back, it actually had a dedicated page for passwords.
Sure.
And I thought, this may not be for the school-going generation, because, as you mentioned, that may get lost easily. But for our families that may have trouble remembering those complex passwords that they write down, as long as they do keep it physically safe and somewhere close to them, and they're not carrying around in a backpack or, a school locker or something like that, then, the more that we can do to enable them to protect themselves, I think the better, as long as, like you said, the conversation is around not only making sure that that password is difficult for a machine learning to try to guess it, but also keep it in a way that you're going to be able to remember it, because that's where a lot of that user frustration comes into play as well, right? Oh my gosh, I have to make all these complex passwords for all these different places that I visit. Well, why can't I just use the same complex password across everything? Well, the reason that's a no-no is because if by any chance one of your accounts gets compromised, you may have more than one account that you utilize, they just gained access to every other account or every other system that you access if you use that same password.
That's a good point, Cindy. And
Yep.
we know that the hackers sell those passwords that have been stolen, and the affiliates are actually, they have scripts to log into every single type of bank or financial institution within minutes of those breaches. And we also know that there's a security researcher out there that has aggregated all those lists into what is arguably the coolest self-service website out there, called Have I Been Pwned? And we're going to teach you a hacker word today: pwned. Pwned is owned. You don't want to be owned. You don't want to be pwned. But haveibeenpwned.com is a legit security researcher. You put in your email address, not your password, your email address, or your cell phone, because cell phones, there's a breach list there that he's taking care of. And it'll list the websites that have been breached, and that password it won't show the password, but it'll show that it's been breached. So if you're reusing any password from those sites that your name has been breached, and you might not even know about it. When companies are hacked, they're not too proud about it. You might not get a letter. You might not get the, "Oh, I'm really, really sorry. We take your security seriously," which is very common these days, several a week. But check out that website, Have I Been Pwned? And then we're going to introduce the fourth and final theme of our session today.
And I think we will be able to display that haveibeenpwned.com on the Cyber Talk once it's ready to go here as well, just in case folks had a hard time catching how to spell that.